I need to tell you a truth that nobody told me when I started. Getting sober was just the beginning. The real fight? It started after. And if you're going through this now, if you woke up today and thought, why is this still so hard? This video is for you. You know what I thought? I thought that the day I stopped drinking, everything would magically fix itself. Like I would wake up a new person, problems would disappear, people would forgive me, and I would finally be happy. What an illusion, right? In the first days, it even seemed that way. I was proud of myself. Look at that, I did it. I had that feeling of victory, of control. I posted about it, received support, it seemed like I had won the battle. But then, a week passed. 2. A month. And you know what I realized? That I was still me. With all my problems, my insecurities, my traumas. Except now, without the anesthesia. That's when the real fight began. Because look, when you stop using the substance, you don't remove what led you to it. It's like ripping off the band-aid from a wound that never healed. And now you have to look at it, feel it, deal with it. The anxiety I always had? Still there. The emptiness I felt? Still there. The anger, the sadness, the feeling of not belonging anywhere? Everything was still there. Except now, without my escape mechanism. And you know what's worse? Nobody prepares you for this. Everyone celebrates when you quit. Congratulations, you're clean. But nobody warns you that the next few months are going to be the hardest of your life. Because now you have to learn who you are without the substance. Face everything you were avoiding. Rebuild relationships you destroyed. Find joy in small things when you always needed something strong to feel alive. Sit with boredom, with silence, with yourself. And this hurts way more than physical withdrawal. Let me tell you about the battles nobody sees. You know how many hours a day I spend drinking or recovering from it? Many. And when you stop, suddenly you have all this free time. And you don't know what to do with it. You don't know who you are anymore. What you like. What entertains you without being altered. I spent months not knowing what to do with myself. I'd stare at the ceiling, at my phone, at the wall. Waiting for time to pass. Because I didn't know how to live anymore. A song. A place. A smell. Friday night. A moment of stress. Bad news. Good news. Everything can be a trigger. You have to relearn how to live your entire life without your old safe haven. And triggers appear when you least expect them. In the middle of a meeting. At the supermarket. In a conversation with family. Suddenly that craving comes back, strong, urgent, desperate. And you have to breathe. And resist. And resist again. And again. And again. The things I did. The people I hurt. The opportunities one threw away. When you're sober, you remember everything. And you have to carry that. You have to apologize. You have to accept that some people won't forgive you. You have to look in the mirror and see the person you were. And you have to forgive yourself. And this is perhaps the most difficult of all battles. Because how do you forgive yourself for years of destruction? For pain caused? For time lost? I lost friends. Because my friends were people I drank with. Parties? Can't do it anymore. Bars? Trigger. Social events? An internal war every second. You feel alienated in a world that revolves around drinking. You realize you don't know how to socialize sober. Don't know what to say. How to act. How to be interesting without being altered. And there are days when loneliness hurts so much that you think, is it worth it? And the answer, even when it hurts, has to keep being yes. Sober, you feel everything. And I wasn't prepared for this. Sadness is no longer a distant fog. It's a stab. Anger is no longer dulled by alcohol. It burns. Joy, when it comes, is so intense it's scary. Fear truly paralyzes you. I spent years anesthetizing my emotions. And now they all come back at once, raw, intense, unfiltered. It's like learning to feel again. Like a baby learning to walk, but with adult emotions and accumulated traumas. Who am I without the substance? This question haunted me for months. Because for so long I was the guy who drinks, the party guy, the guy who was always high. And now? Now I'm who? I have to discover my tastes again. My values. My passions. It's like assembling a puzzle without having the box image to guide you. You keep trying to fit the pieces, making mistakes, starting over, until slowly an image begins to appear. And sometimes this new version of you is unrecognizable. And that's scary. There are people who don't believe in your change. People who don't forgive you. People who treat you as if you were still that person. And there are relationships you have to end. Because you realize they only existed because of the substance. Or because they're toxic. Or because the person doesn't respect your journey. You have to rebuild trust with those who stayed. Prove every day that you've changed. Accept that some bridges were permanently burned. And you have to be at peace with that. While you were using, life continued. People grew. Advanced in their careers. Built families. Achieved dreams. And now you're starting from zero, or close to it. Behind. Trying to make up for lost time. Seeing people younger than you further ahead in life. And you have to make peace with that. You have to accept that you can't go back in time. You can only move forward. But moving forward when you're years behind where you should be. It hurts. It hurts a lot. There are days you can't take it. Days when the craving is so strong you cry. When you scream. When you beg the universe to give you a second of peace. Days when you pick up the phone to call your dealer. When you walk to the bar door. When you already have the excuse ready on the tip of your tongue. Just today, just a little, just to ease it. And you have to find strength you didn't know you had. You have to call someone. Do anything. Walk. Run. Scream. Cry. Anything but relapse. Because you know that one drink, one time, and you're back at the beginning. And all the suffering will have been in vain. But you know what happens in the middle of all this chaos? Small victories. You wake up without a hangover for the 100th time and still feel surprised. You keep a promise you made and feel pride. You have a meaningful conversation completely present. You feel a moment of genuine peace. You notice you can sleep better. That your skin looks better. That you have more energy. That your mind is clearer. These are small things. But when you've spent so long destroying everything, rebuilding anything is a monumental victory. Little by little, you start to find meaning. Maybe it's helping other people in the same fight. Maybe it's a new hobby you're passionate about. Maybe it's reconnecting with an old dream you had abandoned. Maybe it's simply being present for your children, your parents, for those you love. You realize that sobriety isn't the end. It's the means. It's the tool that allows you to finally live the life you always wanted to live. To be the person you always wanted to be. And for the first time in a long time, you start to feel hope. I look in the mirror today and see a different person. Not perfect. Far from it. But real. Present. Fighting. The pain hasn't disappeared. The fight hasn't ended. It probably never will completely. But I've changed. I've grown. I've evolved. I learned that strength isn't never falling. It's getting up every time you fall. It's choosing, day after day, to fight for yourself. It's looking at the abyss and deciding to take one more step away from it. Sobriety took a lot from me. But it gave me something I never had before, a chance. A real chance to be who I really am. So when someone asks me if it's worth it, if all this pain, all this struggle, all this suffering is worth it, I answer without hesitation, yes. Because I'm truly alive for the first time. I truly feel. I truly exist. Not in a fog, not in an altered state, but here, now, present. And there are bad days. Days when I question everything. Days when the fight seems too big. But even on the worst sober days, I know it's better than the best day using. Because at least I'm here. I'm feeling. I'm living. The real fight started when I got sober. But it's a fight I choose to fight. Every day. And I'll keep choosing it. Because I deserve this fight. I deserve this life. If this video touched you in any way, leave a like. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And in the comments, tell me, what has been your biggest struggle in sobriety? Let's create a community here, because nobody should fight this alone. And if you need help, seek it. There's no shame in asking for help. There's courage. See you in the next video. Stay strong.